Yo, 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 what is good? What is good? Just want to talk to y'all today, man. You know me, it's Professor Miles, aka Mr. Self Education. And today is really important for me because, I'm thinking about habits. I'm thinking about habits because people kept asking me questions about my side hustle, and I'm an author. So in addition to working my 9 to 5 at Leaders Up, I am also an author. And so with that, I do some speaking engagements, and I also just have printed a book, so the book essentially sells itself. But people ask me, how did I write a book? And my answer is like, yo, you just write words on a page. And they're like, yeah, but like it's a book, like it's 280 pages, like you just don't get to that real quick. And I'm like, no, it took me 18 months from the day that I said, here's my outline of my book and here's what it's going to be about, to having it published and having it in hand. So now that I have it in hand, it's a little different because people can buy the book all the time. And so that became a side hustle, as it just added to my brand, added to my value, because I'm adding value to other people for such a cheap price for what took me hundreds of thousands of dollars to research and understand. But my goal wasn't to charge people $100,000. Now, I think it's important that we continue to think and remember that what we do every day has a culmination. It has a culmination into your life and who you are. And so those everyday habits become something that is a part of you and part of who you are. So when we talk about the process of how I actually wrote a book, it happened. It happened because I decided every day I was going to write 250 words. 250 words is like a short blog post. It's a Facebook post. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. But 250 words times 18 months equals 280 pages and a product that I can now sell and provide to people at any point in time. That is unique. That is my side hustle. It's something that I decided to do every single day. Because, at the end of the day, no, but to be honest, like my habits are much better when I decide to do them every single day. Whatever I want to do and get good at, I just say do it every single day. Do it every single day. Make it achievable too. So 250 words doesn't intimidate me. I know I got 5 minutes to write 250 words every single day. I would wake up and just be like, let me write this real quick. So I started writing it. It was really awesome. I really enjoyed it. I really liked being able to write every single day and just like pour out my thoughts, pour out what's on my mind. It felt really good to just express myself without any constraints, any rules, any regulations. I didn't want to write the book for fellow professors because, in my experience, most professors really only read when they're getting ready to write their own book or their own article. I read just to read. I read, books all the time. I just bought a bookshelf, actually. I just really bought a bookshelf. It's so awesome. I'm so excited. I just went on Craigslist and hit somebody up and was able to get a really, really good bookcase. And so, if you want to talk about what books you like, comment below. Let me know what books you like. I'm definitely open to learning more about different books that are available. I'm always reading, always looking to gain more knowledge, always looking to learn. I really love books that are about business. I really like books about self-help. I really like books that are probably like romance. Yeah, I really like that. If I ever read anything that's fiction, I'm really not big on fiction. I'm more so, very much so, a business-minded self-help person, because I find myself as a motivational speaker really being able to help people. I find myself as a life coach and an academic success coach, somebody that really helps people. I find myself now, I actually just founded a company called Next Day Startup, and we specialize in helping people bring clarity to their purpose and figuring out a process that will allow them to also gain profit. So that's essentially teaching other people how to get their own side hustles, because I realize it's kind of unique. Everyone doesn't have a book. Everyone doesn't have a side hustle. A lot of people go to one job, or they only go to like their 2 jobs or 2 part-time jobs, and then they go home and they play video games and watch TV and can tell you everything about fictional life, actors and TV and entertainment, but can't tell you anything about factual life. And it's like people are kind of addicted to these alternative facts. And these alternative facts are just a fiction of life. We rather live in fantasy, but see, I'd rather live my fantasy rather than to live in fantasy. I said I'd rather live my fantasy than live in fantasy. So with that, I'm committed every day to just working as hard as I possibly can. I want to be remembered as someone who works hard, someone who had a side hustle, someone who went to their 9 to 5 to provide for my life. But in my 5 to 9, I was able to provide life. It's different. Living and having a life are two different things. Living and having a life are two different things. I am living. I am alive. I am out here. I'm doing it. There's nothing that I've set my mind to that I haven't done. And when I set my mind, I usually do it faster. So I'm really excited about this side hustle. Really excited about Next Day Startup. Really working with my co-founder, and he's a genius, and he can create a revenue stream and profit stream for the most crazy ideas. Things that I'm like, bro, I don't even know how we can. And he comes in, he's like, wait, what if we blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's genius. I never would have thought of that, which is why he's my co-founder. He's good at doing things that I'm not, which is finding revenue streams that might be normal or just abnormal and in different ways. I mean, it's all about thinking outside of the box. He doesn't really have a box. I'm able to think inside and outside of a box because I like to create processes. So that means I like to build structures, aka I like to build boxes and then follow the path. And then I'm very methodical when I focus on that. And so my method when I was writing my book, which is like the whole reason I'm making this post today, was the fact that someone said, how did you actually write your book? I created a method. The method was write 250 words every day until I felt the book was complete. And so, yes, I just committed and I did it every single day. By doing that every single day, my book was done in 18 months. And in that 18 months, I mean, that includes a 5 to 6 month publishing process. That includes a 3-month editing process. And so we look at 6 months plus 3 months of editing, which is 9 months. 9 months from the 18 months, it actually only really took me 9 months to write a book. That's one school year. And one school year, if you're in college, you might, or shoot, if you're in high school, right? Like in 9 months, in a whole school year, you've read and written so much that I continue to do in my own life because I have my own self-education. I mean, I'm addicted to self-education. Self-education is greater than higher education. It's greater than any other formal education that you can actually get. What you teach yourself, what you learn about yourself, what you do for yourself, what you learn and reflect from life and those experiences is 20 times way more important than what you're actually going to learn in school. The reason I say that is because school is there just like your 9 to 5 is there. It's a consistent structure that you can count on to go to every single day and rely upon it. But what you do after that tells me more about who you are. That's why in my book, Self-Education is Greater Than Higher Education, I'm literally talking for 16 out of 17 chapters about what to do outside of class. I have one chapter. The first chapter is on academics. And then every other chapter might mention something about class, but we eventually talk about outside of class. Think about it. You study in class what people discovered outside of class. Rarely you're saying, in someone's class in 1952, we discovered inside of that class. No, nothing. No war, no great discovery, no life-saving mission was established inside of a class. It was established while you were living life. That's why we go back to the difference between living and having a life. Everyone has a life, but not everybody gets the opportunity to live. And it's an opportunity that we have to grant ourselves. It's an opportunity to live, which we have to grant ourselves. Life is not a joke. I talked about this on my previous video, my last video, about how in your job, like you can be like DeMarcus Cousins, which is a basketball player for the Sacramento Kings, who was traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. So you can be the best person or player on your team, best person in your job, and be traded. So what you teach yourself and your relationship with yourself really matters, which goes back down to your habits of how you treat and engage yourself every day, which goes back to what are your daily habits doing for your overall life goal. I want to be an author. 18 months and I did it. I want to be a university professor. And the minute I decided that, when I got to graduate school, it was 18 months until I did my first guest lecture, and then 6 months after that, so 24 months. It took 24 months total for me to become a university professor after I made that decision in my head. And I think that we have these ideas that we're going to go to a job, we're going to save for retirement, somehow we're going to not make $1 million in a year at our job, but save $1 million over 40 or 50 years and be able to live off that in retirement with the rate of inflation going up 4%, which means that the cost of everything in your life, from your apartment to your food, is going up on a rate of 4% a year, but your bank is only giving you 0.03% growth in a year, that you have to really decide that you're going to put in more work than the average person in order to live an above average lifestyle, so that you're just not riddled with debt and riddled with pain and riddled with insecurity. And that's going to happen when you don't have a side hustle. Because when you have a side hustle, now your passion can live. No one's going to fire you from your side hustle because it's you and it's yours. It's a part of who you are. It's what you do. It's what you decide to do. I can't fire you from living your life. Now, why not live a life that allows you to get paid? I think that's important. And I think that if you want to write a book, write 250 words today, tomorrow, and every day hence. Go forward writing 250 words every single day. The first 250 words, just outline your book. Just outline what it is. This is how we're going to build a side hustle. This is how you can start making money in your sleep. I wake up and people have bought the book. And I'm like, I didn't sell it to you. People are buying the book in bulk, 10, 20 copies, giving it to their high school programs, their middle school programs. They're giving it to their college students. They're buying it for these programs. There are people who I have more people who are not even in college buying the book because they like the concept of self-education. And only one chapter is really focusing on in class. So you have 16 chapters focusing on self-education out of the 17. So over 90% of the book is focused on you and you developing the best parts of you. And I have all these diagrams that allow you to do so. And so I wake up and people have bought the book because it's helping their life and helping bring clarity to their purpose. It's a great guide to living and learning your life purpose. But living is my goal for you. And I think you can live at a higher rate when you self-educate and then you also self-employ. That's the process. That's the next step. After you self-educate, is to self-employ. Let's get this side hustle. And I'm really interested. What's your side hustle? If you had to start one today, if you got one already, that's great. If you got one already, then what is it? Comment below. Let me know. You can DM me on IG or Twitter. I'm always down to have conversations at Mr. Self-Education on IG. DM me, let me know. Comment below on this video so I can see what you're talking about, because I want to see what these different side hustles are. Like I said, since I've been having this conversation over the last couple of weeks with people, and really it's been a lifelong conversation for me, but I've been more intentional about it recently. I haven't really heard people say the same side hustle. So you might think that someone else is doing what you want to do and they're dominating that lane. No, there's enough space and abundance of opportunity for you. I guarantee that. But we got to try. We got to do something. When I talk to people, the biggest thing that holds them back is themselves. They have this resistance and people don't recognize. What you may think takes 10 years. I thought it took 10 years to become a professor. I did it in 2. It's almost 5 times the rate. What you want to do, you can actually do it faster than what you really think you can. So let's dream bigger and let's take the first step. So comment below and let me know what your side hustle would be. And let's start a conversation. You can actually email me. Keep it real. MilesRGoodloe@gmail.com. MilesRGoodloe@gmail.com. And let's actually develop this. Let's get your side hustle going. Or just bounce some ideas off of me. I can just be a sounding board. I've been an advisor and life coach for about the last 9 years, just working with people, specifically students. And now I'm working with people who have full 9-to-5s. And really helping them master their life and all these different components, right? And so for me, my goal is to increase the economic sovereignty of everyone that I meet. So let's meet and let's get this money. Do it for the culture. All right. Man, peace. Afro Greece, hit me up. Let me know what's going on. Comment below. Also, share this video with anybody that you think might need to hear and listen about the fact that you need a side hustle. You need to work hard. You need to grind like you never grind before. Peace.